What is up, Earhnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode we are diving back into the fabulous Shin Matsunaga. Last time, the Jabberwock team attacked Solomon. Oscar goes it alone and tries to destroy Solomon from within, but Shin saves the day. He forces Oscar to do his bidding. He's Zeon now. Also, many of Shin's comrades are slowly dying thanks to the White Devil. This time, Shin will organize a team and try to convince Daegwon to a ceasefire. They will face off against the Chimera Corps, and Shin will be taken prisoner by Giran. So let's get into this. A TV shuttle is filming a battle happening outside of Side 6. This is Whitebase and Amuro fighting against Conscon. Like the anime, the Gundam takes out Conscon in a Chivet. One Zeon officer watches the battle. He mentions that since Odessa, things have been downhill for them. This is Ensign Bernard. His young NCOs are willing to throw it all away for this war. But Bernard and this team are on transport duties. They're transporting the Big Zam. He tells his men to think about the future and to stop trying to throw their lives away on the front lines. We will eventually learn that he is not looking out for the kids and is actually just a coward. That is when Shin boards his ship and steals Bernard. Your services are needed. Get in the space van. We flash back to a few hours earlier. Dozle tells Shin that Giran won't help Solomon. Robert Gilliam says to Shin, "Hey, you aren't trying to start a coup, are you?" He was, however, having thoughts of seeking out the Great Sovereign's help on this. Gilliam is one of Giran's men. He says that even if Solomon falls, Giran has a plan. He suggests to Shin that he join Giran's faction. He believes that Dozle's family feuding is what is preventing Giran from achieving his goals. Shin declines his offer. He calls him a fool. Oscar and Chief Gaston want to join Shin on his journey. They, along with Bernard, head off. Also, this mini Musai-ass looking ship actually has a name. It is the Gagaul-class ship. The Gagaul-class ship was designed to fulfill the need of getting mobile suits into the battle faster and in larger quantities. This is labeled as a destroyer, but is more a simplified mobile suit operation vessel. They hold mobile suits, but it doesn't have a hangar, so it relies on other ships for maintenance. Weapons include 2 twin megaparticle cannons, 2 auxiliary megaparticle cannons, and missile launchers. Shin tells him that they are heading to Side 3 directly and asking Daegwon to consider a ceasefire. Bernard thinks he has gone insane. The Matsunaga family will help with negotiations. This will most likely cause the economy to collapse, but they can maintain some semblance of sovereignty perhaps. This is like the Japanese revolutionary who made a proposal that moved the king so much it made him surrender power. This is called the 8 Proposals while shipboard. You can read this. It's only 8 bullet points. You're still not going to read it. That is when they get a red alert. Someone on the comms say that they are harboring rebels. This isn't coming from Solomon Command HQ. 2 Gelgoog cannons approach. They are from the Chimera Corps. Shin launches to handle them. He tells them that they are heading to Side 3 on orders of Dozle, but the Chimera Corps has been ordered to take him in. The 2 pilots are Gerald Sakai and Thomas Kurtz. Remember, we learned in Brave Soldiers in the Sky that Kurtz defected from EFF to Zeon. Gerald Sakai also made an appearance in Johnny Ryden's MSVR story. Kurtz is ready to kill him, but Gerald Sakai is able to sense no threat from Shin. He is second-guessing Kaecilia's orders. Bernard points a gun at the chief. He doesn't intend to lose his Zeon citizenship. He says those are the Chimera Corps, the best of the best. This is suicide. This seems to be Shin's first glimpse of the Gelgoog. He thinks to himself, what the hell, other zombies? Why aren't you sharing this tech with Dozle and Solomon? Janky-ass Zaku 2s. Gerald tells Kurtz to not rush in or he's going to get hit. Shin hides behind an asteroid. He can sense that there is a third hiding somewhere. It is a Gelgoog with a backpack and a Gatling gun. The pilot's name is Hinkle Bats. The mobile suit draws out Shin's Zaku, where a 4th Gelgoog comes in with a beam Naginata. It is Lieutenant Machi Visconti. Oscar is locked out of the bridge of the Gagaul. Bernard notices another mobile suit joining the battle. It is a red Gelgoog going 3 times normal speed. But this isn't the Red Comet. This is the Crimson Lightning, Johnny Ryden. The Chimera Corps needs to bring Shin back alive. Shin thinks to himself that every time he helps Dozle, something bad happens. But when that happens, he always faces stronger opponents. Oh, and he's got that fight in him. Shin flashbangs Visconti and rushes Kurtz. He punches his head, taking out his sensors. Shin chooses not to kill him. Suddenly, his leg is shot. It is Johnny Ryden. Dozle tells Gato that he sent Shin on a mission to Side 3, and EFF seems to be targeting Solomon for their next attack. Dozle puts Gato in charge of the mobile suit forces. Kelly Leisner can sense stress from Gato. He is piloting the Bigro mobile armor. They head out. The attack on Solomon is about to begin. Johnny and Shin fight, but it is over swiftly. Johnny Ryden instantly destroys Shin's limbs. He ejects from his Zaku, but is grabbed by the Gelgoog. He takes them back to their special Zanzibar, the Chimera. They arrest Shin under the suspicion of treason. Kurtz tries to act tough even though he just got wrecked. Johnny gets out of his mobile suit and punches Kurtz. He never gave him an order to use lethal force. Johnny tells Shin that they could have killed him if they wanted. This is the first time Shin met the legendary Crimson Lightning. They throw him in the brig and say, "Suck it, Dozel faction. Cassilia for life." Somewhere else, Bernard and the others are also taken prisoner. Oscar calls Bernard a coward. They're still heading towards Side 3, so they are on course towards their destination. On Side 3, Shin's father, Assemblyman Matsunaga, is giving a speech to the Daikun loyalists. It has been 10 years since the death of Daikun, but now is the time for them to reclaim Zeon in his name, not the Zabis. One of his followers, Vice Admiral Killing Denigan, got him one of the new Gelgoogs to use in their uprising. While driving down the highway, old man Matsunaga thinks of his son joining the military. He never wanted this for him. But Shin wanted to see what was happening around the Earth sphere with his own eyes. He thinks perhaps Shin was right. A van in front of his car opens at the back, and someone fires off a bazooka, blowing up Shin's father. The man who just killed old man Matsunaga proceeds to eat some jelly beans. Darchia Bakarev tells Degwin that Assemblyman Matsunaga has been shot. He seems to be completely over the Zabis. Degwin knows this is Girin's doing. Girin gets to work creating his own space ice to take out all those filthy Daikun loyalists. They burn down the Matsunaga estate. The Obasan watching over Aurelia suggests that they leave this place. Suspicious men come to the door, but they aren't secret police. It is Killing Danigan along with Matsunaga loyalists, and they want to help. While transferring Shin to the Royal Guard, Gerald Sakai tells him that his father was killed. For the most part, Gerald Sakai has been reduced to saying one-dimensional lines like, "That Shin Matsunaga, boy, does he have potential. He could have gone places." Shin is transferred into Robert Gilliam's hands. Killing takes Aurelia to part of Side 3 controlled by the Space Attack Force. Girin wouldn't dare try anything in this sector. Spoiler, he will. Their next step is to find Shin. The Gagaul crew is being transferred when the power goes out. Bernard and Oscar take out the guard, and they look for Shin. But Bernard says, "Peace out, I'm doing my own thing." Guards follow him, but he finds himself a Zaku-1 and makes his escape. He wants to flee to the Federation. Bernard doesn't know how to pilot, it seems, and he accidentally crashes through the building that was holding Shin. Shin says, "Thanks for saving me. I knew I could rely on you." He says, "Yes, save you. That's what I'm doing." Shin assumes control of the Zaku. Gilliam is informed of Shin's escape. He is happy because now they can officially kill him. He looks out at the Big Rough. The MA-05R Big Rough is a modified B-Grow unit designed to attack the Vanguard. This has a Minovsky particle scattering system that jams warships and MS sensors. This has 2 nuclear-powered rocket engines and 2 extra boosters. Mounted underneath the Big Rough is an anti-ship missile with a total length of approximately 100 meters, which is the same type used by space fortresses. Other weapons include claw arms, a megaparticle cannon, 2 4-tube missile launchers, and 2 6-tube missile launchers. Shin and the rest of the gang escape in a gobble. Helping them escape is Marcus Stokes, who is taking them to Admiral Danigan. They take him to the Space Attack Force at Side 3, where they link up with Danigan. He gives Shin a letter that his father left him. Oscar runs into Aurelia and tells her that things are going to get wild out here. So if there is something that he wants to say to Shin, she better get it off her chest now. She just wishes that there is something she could do to help. A recon gobble is shot down. It is the Big Rough and some Rickdoms. The Chimera Corps isn't allowed to launch while Gilliam and his men are out running exercises. They realize Gilliam failed capturing Shin, so now he is going to destroy him. Shin is getting the Gelgoog left by his father up and running. Gobbles and Zaku-1s protect the port where the Space Attack Force is located. The letter that Shin's father left essentially pleaded with his son to help shape Zeon for the better. He activates the Gelgoog. Marcus Stokes is shot down. As Gilliam approaches the colony port, he fires off a missile. A beam blast shoots and takes down the missile before it can do damage. It is Shin and his new Gelgoog Jaeger. And that will do it for this episode. Shin's heart is always in the right place, but this guy is always at the wrong place at the wrong time. His situation with Dozel mirrors his relationship with his dad, strong but distant and fleeting. In the end, Shin wished he had more time with his father, even though the first time he was introduced, Shin was trying to push him away. Next time we will learn more about the Gelgoog Jaeger. He will face off against Gilliam in the Big Rough, and he will once again face off against the Chimera Corps. Also, Degwin's Royal Guard gets involved. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, do not get involved in Zabi drama. Peace.